welcome to the chemistry class. Today we are going to discuss about the chemical reactions of the haloalkanes, which is a very important bit of the topic regarding the chemical reactions of the haloalkanes. So, haloalkanes undergoes three types of the reaction, in that nucleophilic substitution reaction, elimination reaction and also reaction with the metals. So, we are going to study all those three cases deeply, and now we are going to discuss about the first one, that is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay. So, as I am talking nucleophilic substitution reaction, substitution reaction means we are going to substitute. Then what we are going to substitute here? Nucleophile. The nucleophile is substituted here, that is why the name itself indicates nucleophilic substitution reaction. Then you need to know what is a nucleophile. Nucleophile is shortly written as Nu minus. Okay. Nucleophile is nothing but it is the species which is electron rich. The electron rich species is called as a nucleophile. Okay. Here the nucleophile, as it is electron rich species, obviously it will going to attack on the positive center. It will going to attack on the positive center, because always the force of attraction will be in between two different charges, like that is opposite charges, negative and positive. So, the nucleophile is the electron rich species which has the affinity, that is its wish to go towards the positive center. Okay. So, now as we are talking about the nucleophilic substitution reaction of the haloalkanes, let me take a haloalkane, that is Rx, and for this Rx we are going to react that new haloalkane with the nucleophile. During that time what happens? There is a formation of the RNU plus X minus. As we said you, the haloalkanes here, the X has the more electronegativity, that is it has the capacity to drag the electron itself, so that it can able to generate delta negative charge. While as it is drag the negative charge, that is the bond towards itself, and it got the negative charge, means what about R? Definitely R will going to get the, or it will going to become the positive center, that is a delta plus, so that our nucleophile can able to attack on the R. So, there is a bond formation between the R and nucleophile, that is alkyl group and nucleophile. X is the halide, which is also called as leaving group. It is called as a leaving group. Let me tell you, that is only particularly if I am talking about haloalkane. This is the haloalkane. See, you can take any valence here, like it is balanced by H, CH3 or anything. So, here if I wish to add the nucleophile, it is delta negative, as it is electronegative, and it is delta positive. Definitely the nucleophile will going to attack on this, and it will going to form the CNU plus X minus. Okay. So, this is how the nucleophilic substitution reaction takes place. Particularly we are going to study the this reaction in the example very depth. Okay. So, first of all, just to get the idea of the nucleophilic substitution reaction, here we are going to take the haloalkane, and here we are going to attack with the nucleophile, and the nucleophile is an electron rich system. It will going to attack towards the electron deficient, that is the positive center. So, that Nu attacks on the R, there is a formation of the RNU, and X minus that is left out, that is what we called as a leaving group. Clear? So, here let me clarify two more terms here only, that is a monodentate ligand or monodentate nucleophilic center. Here, as I am talking about the nucleophile can able to attach with the this alkyl group by different ways. it has the different center. In that, first one is a monodentate ligand or nucleophilic center. Mono means these can coordinate with the R by single center, by only one center. It has the only one site which can able to attack with the, or which can able to attach with the R. Only one site through which it can able to attach. For example, monodentate nucleophilic center example is OH minus I minus H minus OR minus etc. Okay. While one more term is there, ambidentate ligand, or here there are two nucleophilic centers, it cannot have the only one of the nuclear center, here it can have the two nucleophilic center. Such a ligands are said to be ambidentate ligand. And further, what about ligand, why monodentate, bidentate, ambidentate, you are going to study in the coordination compounds very depth. Here only just get the idea that monodentate means it can able to coordinate with the single center. The nucleophilic center is only one nucleophilic center will be there, while ambidentate means it can able to coordinate with the two sites, two nucleophilic site we can say. For example, Cn minus cyano group and NO2, that is nitro group, these are the ambidentate ligands we can say. So here just look at the Cn, here it is the structure. If it is coordinate with the N site, you are going to get the isocyanide product. Suppose if it is coordinated with the carbon, there is a formation of the alkyl cyanide. And in case of nitro group, if it is coordinate with the oxygen, we are going to get the alkyl nitrite as a product. If it is coordinate through the nitrogen, we are going to get the nitroalkane. Clear? So just keep in mind that if they are having two or more than two coordinate center, that is nucleophilic center, those are ambidentate. If those are having single center, that is the monodentate ligand. Clear? So let me tell you, by taking different what we can say attacking nucleophile, what will be the product we are going to get, that only we are going to discuss here. Here the substrate, it means whatever the reactant we are taking, in all the cases that will be haloalkane, because we are talking about the haloalkane itself. Okay. Suppose I am adding the nucleophile, that is NaOH. If I am adding the nucleophile NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, during that time what happens, as I said you, here it can able to get the Na plus and OH minus. Here it is a negative, here it is a positive. Definitely OH minus will going to attack on the R and NaX will be removed. So what will be the product? The product will be the ROH. That is the alcohol will be the product. Here the substrate is haloalkane and the nucleophile is NaOH, and then product is a alcohol. Clear? Similarly, instead of taking NaOH, if I took the water as our attacking, that is nucleophile attacking reagent or nucleophile, what happens during that time also, just look at this, water can able to form H plus and OH minus, so that OH minus can able to attach with the R. There is also a formation of the alcohol ROH along with the release of the HX, Okay. So here minus NaX you can able to write, minus here minus HX I can able to write, only product I am going to write, and these two products are nothing but alcohol. Here we are going to get the alcohol. Suppose if the haloalkane is treated with NaOCH3, okay, during this time what happens, Na plus and OCH3 minus will be there. So OCH3 minus is there, means it will going to definitely combine with the R. So what will be the product? ROCH3. It means it is like ROR dash. There is a formation of the ether, we can able to say. There is a formation of the ether. Suppose if it is treated with the ammonia NH3, during that time there is a formation of the amine, that is RNH2, and while HX is removed. Amine is the product. And here very important bit of the topic, that is haloalkane is treated with KCN and AgCN. See here, that is why I put a star mark here. Many times in your examination they are going to give you like this. In case of R they will take the CH3, in case of like this, and they are going to write like this and write the products. Such a questions will be asked several times. So, do not get confused here. I will clear the concept. See here, haloalkane is treated with KCN, okay. And then during this time what happens, as cyanide is having the two sides, I said you, CN is having the two sides, one is through the N, one is through the C. So, if it is coordinate with the carbon means we are going to get the cyanides. If it is coordinating with the nitrogen, we are going to get the isocyanides. When the haloalkane is treated with KCN, during this time what happens, it is coordinate with the carbon. So, there is a formation of the RCN, cyano compound. That is cyanides. There is a formation of the cyanide will going to takes place and minus Kx will be removed. This is cyanide formation. There is a linkage through the carbon, keep in mind. Okay. Suppose if the haloalkane is treated with AgCN instead of KCN, during this time the coordinator center will be nitrogen. So, what happens, RNC is the product. As N is the coordinate site, it is isocyanide formation. There is a isocyanide formation takes place several times. Only just look at these two, because the haloalkane in both the cases is same, Rx is same in both the cases, only we are changing the attacking nucleophile. If I am taking the KCN, I am going to get the cyanide product. If I am taking AgCN, I am going to get the isocyanide product. As I am telling you repeatedly, it is very important, several times they are going to ask you such a question by exchanging KCN and AgCN. Many students, when they have given AgCN, they just look at this AgCN, they will think Cn minus will be there. So, directly they will write RCN as a product. That is wrong. That is wrong. You have to go with the isocyanide. RNC will be the product. Clear? So, next, and here it is also one of the very important, as I said you, nitro NO2 is having the two coordinate sites. If it is coordinating with the oxygen, alkyl nitrite is the product. If it is coordinated with the nitrogen, we are going to get the nitroalkane as a product. Suppose Rx is treated with KNO2. During this time, there is a formation of the alkyl nitrite. It means the coordination occurs through the oxygen. The product will be RONO. The coordination occurs with the oxygen. Clear? Suppose if this Rx is treated with AgNO2, during this time the coordination occurs through the nitrogen. So, you are going to get the RNO2 as a product. You are going to get the RNO2 as a product and AgX, that is removed. Clear? See here, this is also very important, that only they are changing the nucleophile KNO2 and AgNO2, and the our haloalkane is quite common in both the cases. If I am treating the haloalkane with KNO2, you are going to get the alkyl nitrite as a product. If it is treated with AgNO2, nitroalkane is the product. Okay. So, these four reactions are, whatever I am explaining now, very important. Very important. And last one, when the haloalkane is treated with, that is Rx is treated with lithium aluminum hydride, LiAlH4, lithium aluminum hydride, during that time it produces the H minus. So, there is a formation of the RH type of the compounds. There is a formation of the RH type of the compounds, and there is a removal of the, again X will be removed, So, this is how we can explain the reactions of the haloalkanes. In all the reaction, Rx is common. Reaction of the haloalkane with a different nucleophile. The nucleophile we are changing here, we are using NaOH, H2O, NaOCH3, ammonia, and then KCN, AgCN, KNO2, AgNO2, lithium aluminum hydride, and even we are going to use the Grignard reagent, okay, that I will tell you. Clear? So here these four are very important. Many times they are going, instead of giving Rx, as I said you R, they are going to take any alkyl group like CH3, C2H5, and X they can able to take any Cl, Br, like that they are going to take. Just look at either they are adding KCN or they are adding AgCN. Just look at either they are adding KNO2 or AgNO2. Clear? So this is how we can explain about the nucleophilic substitution reaction and how it exactly occurs with the few common examples. Just briefly I am giving the idea. Okay. Further I will tell you how exactly the procedure takes place, how exactly the nucleophile will going to attack on the R and how it will going to attach, that we are going to continue. Okay. As we talk about the nucleophile and last one of the nucleophile, that is Grignard reagent. Suppose haloalkane is treated with the Grignard reagent, during that time R mgx, that is R or R dash mgx, because why I took R dash, because we used here R, that is why in order to make it little more clarify I took R dash. When the haloalkane is treated with Grignard reagent, there is a formation of the R dash, that is alkane, there is a formation will going to be occur, and Grignard reagent is also one of the nucleophile. During that time R dash like product is obtained, X minus is removed. Clear? So as we discussed many of the nucleophiles by taking like NaOH, KOH, and then you can use water, you can use ammonia, you can use KCN, you can use AgCN. Similarly, we can also able to use Grignard reagent. Okay. So let us come for the very important bit of the topic, that is we are talking about the nucleophilic substitution reaction. There are two types of the nucleophilic substitution reaction, and that now I am going to discuss about the SN2 reaction. Very important, and most of the time this is the fixed question. Either they are going to ask you SN2 or SN1 reaction. So let us go for the understanding of the what is the SN2 reaction. First let me explain you the term. S means substitution, N means nucleophile, 2 means bimolecular. Okay. So SN2 reaction is nothing but bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Bimolecular nucleophilic substitution, and this SN2 if we expand it means S means substitution, N means nucleophile, the 2 itself indicates bimolecular. So here I want to tell you that usually the optically active compounds undergoes SN2 reaction, that is substitution reaction. Then what is the meaning of optical active? Optically active means the compounds which can able to rotate the plane polarized light. Let me tell you, plane polarized light. This is the plane polarized light, unidirectional in a given plane. The light which is unidirectional in a given plane, this is the plane polarized light. Shortly I will write it as a PPL. So optically active compounds can able to rotate the plane polarized light either in clockwise direction, or in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay. Either in the clockwise direction or in the anti-clockwise direction. Such compounds are said to be optically active compounds. Usually the optically active compounds must contain the chiral carbon. It must contain the chiral carbon. What is the meaning of chiral carbon? Chiral carbon is nothing but the carbon which is attached to the 4 different groups. Let me take, this is a X and this is a H, and this may be R NeCH3, this may be R dash NeC2H5. Suppose the carbon is attached to the 4 different types of the groups, not the same element, 4 different types of the group the carbon is attached means that is what we called as a chiral carbon, which is represented by a star. It is a chiral carbon we can able to say. So these are the 2 terms which you need to understand. Okay. So let me go for the substrate, that is SN2 reaction by taking a general concept, now let us go for that particular example. So, here, so we are talking about the haloalkanes, the SN2 mechanism on the haloalkane compound. Haloalkane means, I will take like this, CX. Okay. Haloalkane means that is the one of the halogen must be there and which is attached to one of the hydrogen, and this halogen and hydrogen are in the same plane. Okay. And other two groups I am going to write here. This is R and this is a R dash. These two groups are R and R dash are, as we know, carbon is a tetravalent which is having the tetravalent 4 valency must be satisfied. In that the 2 valency is satisfied by the X and H, and another 2 groups are R and R dash. In that H and X are in the same plane of the carbon, while R and R dash are out of the plane. If I am representing in the plane means it is these are out of the plane. This group is near to us, this group is away from us. This group is away from us, this is near to us. Okay. And then here it is called as a dashed line, here it is a wedge. Clear? So, now I want to attack a nucleophile on the such a compound, nucleophile Nu minus. I want to attack with the nucleophile. As we are talking about the nucleophilic substitution means we want to substitute the nucleophile. So, during this time what happens, I will tell you the two possibility. The nucleophile can able to attack in this way, sorry, like this. This is what we called as front attack. Front attack. Okay. Even the nucleophile can able to attack from the back side. This is back attack. This is back attack. The nucleophile has the two ways to attack on this carbon. As I said you, carbon is a chiral carbon, and which is, as X is delta negative, carbon is a delta positive, the nucleophile can able to attack on the positive center. It can be attacked by the two ways, either by front attack or by the back attack. But the front attack is not possible. Why? The nucleophile is negatively charged and the leaving group is also the negatively charged. There is a repulsion occurs. Because these two are negatively charged. So, the nucleophile prefers back attack. The nucleophile prefers the back attack. When the nucleophile prefers the back attack, during that time there is a formation of such a state. See here, this is the carbon. When the nucleophile is attacking from the back side, these three groups H, R and R dash arrange in such a way that like this. This is the H and this is the R and this is the R dash. Okay. So, here there is a partial, here this bond wants to break. There is a bond breaking. Here bond breaking is occurring, while behind, that is back side, there is a formation of the bond. Here bond formation is taking place, while here bond breaking takes place. The carbon is bonded partially with these two, and such a state which is having the minimum stability and maximum potential energy. So, this state is said to be a transition state. Transition state. It is not at all stable because one side bond is forming while one more, this is Nu, and one more side bond is breaking. So, during this time what happens, X is electronegative, this bond goes on breaking, while this nucleophile attack from the back side, there is a formation of the bond between the carbon and nucleophile. So, that there is a formation of the bond in such a way that this is the nucleophile and this is the hydrogen, and X is already removed, and R and this is the R dash. This is the R dash and X minus, that is removed. X minus is removed. We want to substitute the nucleophile that we did, that is why it is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Clear? And here one more thing I want to tell you, that it is a inversion product. It is a inversion product and it is also called as a Walder inversion. Why we are talking about the inversion means, suppose our substrate, this one, if it rotates the plane polarizer light to the clockwise direction, means our product that will going to rotate the plane polarizer light in the anti-clockwise. There is a inversion occurs and during this time there is a inversion product will going to be occur. Clear? So, this is how we can explain about the SN2 reaction. See here, once again I will tell you, here whatever the substrate we are taking, that is optically active and halogen is electronegative, it will going to drag the electron towards itself and we are attacking the nucleophile here. Obviously, the nucleophile attack on the positive center. There is a two ways of attacking, one is front attack, one more is back attack. The front attack is not at all possible because both are negatively charged and they will going to repel with each other, so that the carbon prefers, so that the carbon will going to prefer the backside attack. So, when the carbon prefers backside attack, there is a formation of the transition state. During this state, the maximum potential energy will be there, minimum stability will be there. So, as it is not stable because the carbon is pentavalent, 5 bonds are there. Carbon, it is not possible to get the pentavalent, always it is a tetravalent. So, what happens here, there is a bond breaking occurs, here bond formation occurs, finally X minus itself is left. So, the nucleophile attacks from the back side and this product is inversion, that is inverted product we can say, because if the substrate rotates the PPL, that is plane polarized light to the clockwise, means it will going to rotate it anti-clockwise. That is why there is a inversion product will going to be occur. So, this is the general mechanism of the SN2 reaction, particularly if we are talking about one of the example here. Okay, example is nothing but CH3Cl methyl chloride. So, whenever methyl chloride, it is like RX. Okay, when it is treated with NaOH, what will be the product? See here, Cl plus in case of NaOH, OH minus is a nucleophile which wants to attack. So, during this time what happens? There is a transition state occurs and partial bond formation between a CCl and there is a partial bond formation between the OH. Okay, and this is nothing but a transition state. This is the transition state when finally we are going to get that CH3OH, alcohol is formed along with the release of the Cl minus. Okay, how Cl minus, it is included with Na plus NaCl is released. Clear? So, this is a very important example. Many times they are not going to ask you directly write the mechanism of the SN2 reaction. Sometimes they will going to ask you how the methyl, that is alcohol, methanol is prepared by taking the methyl chloride. Like that they are going to ask you the questions. So, be aware of that. So, let me tell you few note, that is few important points of the SN2 reaction, few important points of the SN2 reaction. First point, SN2 reaction is a bimolecular. It means two molecules we are taking here. One is substrate, one more is a nucleophile. It is a bimolecular. And the rate of reaction, according to the chemical kinetics, rate can be expressed as the rate is equal to K into. The rate depends upon the concentration of both, that is substrate and nucleophile. That only I am right as Rx. Rx is nothing but our substrate. and nucleophile. The rate depends upon the both concentration of the substrate as well as a nucleophile. And if we talk about the order, means it is a second order, because here it will be the power 1, it is a order of the reaction will be 2. And then next, here the inversion product is possible when we are taking the optically active compound. Optically active compound, what is the meaning that I explained you, and optical active compound must contain the chiral carbon. Okay. Inversion product is obtained, it means what? The product is inversion, it means that the PPL is rotated anti-clockwise if substrate rotated clockwise. Okay. So, inversion product is possible, and one more here, polar aprotic solvent is used. Polar aprotic solvent can also be used in this mechanism. And then one more I will tell you about this is very important, that is rate depends upon the or inversely proportional to the steric hindrance. So, steric hindrance means crowding. If the bulky groups are attached, suppose this is our haloalkane, H, like this. Okay. So, now the nucleophile can able to attack very easily, because all the hydrogens are small, those are not bulky group. Suppose if instead of taking one of the hydrogen by CH3 like this, so what happens? It is a primary, because the carbon is attached to a single carbon, primary. During that time, the nucleophile, here according to this, the reactivity is more in case of this as compared with this. Okay. Suppose if I am taking instead of this 2CH3 like this, 2CH3 taking, again the groups are increasing, means the steric hindrance is more. Here the attack of nucleophile is quite difficult. Here the attack of nucleophile is quite difficult in case of secondary. Similarly, that only I will explain. 0 degree, primary, secondary, tertiary. This is the order of reactivity according to the steric hindrance. How it will be here? Like this, X it is. And while here CH3, H, X, and here secondary CH3, 2C are attached with our carbon X, while here it will be like this. So, more bulky groups are there, means the attack of nucleophile is difficult. So, the order of reactivity will be in this way: 0 degree, primary, tertiary order of the reactivity. And last point is regarding the nature of the leaving group, that is X. If the nature of the leaving group, if it is strong or it is weak, whatever, that depends upon the nature of the leaving group. And the leaving group, suppose iodine is there. As you know, iodine is having the bigger size, easily it can able to get attached, from the carbon because of its larger size. So, iodine is in the first priority as compared with bromine, as compared with Cl, as compared with the fluorine. That only we can also able to write Ci, the rate of reaction of Ci is greater than Cbr as compared with the CCl, as compared with the Cf. Okay. So, all these are the very important points regarding the SN2 reaction. And SN2 reaction here, if we talk about the methyl chloride is treated with a nucleophile like OH minus, you are going to get the product as alcohol. And this mechanism is many times they are going to ask you either by direct way or by indirect way. Sometimes they are going to ask you that how the that is methanol is prepared by using the methyl chloride, and how the methyl chloride mechanism occurs through the SN2, like that question will be asked. And then see here some important points regarding the SN2 reaction. First of all, it is a bimolecular reaction, because the substrate as well as nucleophile both are very important, and the rate of reaction depends upon the concentration of the substrate as well as nucleophile, and the order will be second order. by molecular we are telling order will be the 2 itself, and here if the substrate is optically active consisting of the chiral carbon, you are going to get the inversion product, and here usually we are going to use polar aprotic solvent like acetone. Okay, and one more thing, these two are very important. The rate depends upon the steric hindrance. The more bulkier groups are there means the rate of reaction is decreasing, because nucleophile cannot able to attack because of these crowdy nature of those groups. So the rate of reaction depends upon the attached groups. Clear? So 0 degree is always having the rate will be greater as compared with the primary, secondary, tertiary. That only I explained here. And then finally the nature of the leaving group, the I can easily get attached from the carbon. So the reactivity will be I is greater than Br as compared with Cl as compared with the F. That only when it is included with the carbon, Ci is greater than Cbr, greater than CCl and Cf. This is how we can able to explain about the SN2 reaction, which is very important. Okay, in our next class we are going to discuss about the SN1 reaction. Until that, just follow up the video and make the notes. Thank you.